Well, this is a view from a sketch I took last autumn when we were on holiday with Ruth and the family on the Isle of Wight, and it's a fresh water bay and very vigorous day. It was quite rough with the surf and everything, and so yes, now this is acrylic, and I said in my last post that acrylics can tend to be very garish, so but there are ways of getting around all that, and they can be so subtle really you can hardly tell them from an oil painting. And what I've done, I've toned the board. It's an old piece of scrap mounting board that's an offcut really, you normally go in the bin, but it's 6 by 8 inches, and what I've done, I've put a gesso paste, which is a little bit like polyfiller really, you can get it from the works or something like that, and I've brushed that on the surface of the board and then let it harden, and then I've tinted it with some light red and white really, just to take the whiteness off that everything registers. Well, that's enough for the sky for now, and I'm going to mix now like a bluey green, so a little bit of yellow, like a lemon yellow with the blue, and that will give a sort of sea colour. Let's have a look and try it out. No, it's a little bit more yellow. That's about it, I think. Yeah, now we're talking. That's what we want. And so I'm keeping it very simple. So I'm working in big shapes. That's the sky. I haven't got the line halfway, the horizon halfway. I've got that not as wide as that, so it gives a bit of interest, and always got to be thinking of that all the time, how to make it the painting more interesting and not boring. But so here we go. So I'm putting it on quite quickly, and this will just be my base color, and I'll work on top of this, but just to show you where we're at now. And I've nearly finished with this session, as quick as this is. What I'll do, I'll just get a headland in over there. Let's have a look. There we go. That's it. Don't want any detail over there, just it's in the distance. And what I want to do now is a darker sort of blue now. So I use more blue, a bit stronger, less white. There we are, like that, see? So what I'm going to do then, I'm going to do this in bands. You find this sometimes. You'll find the light on the sea, it'll just create streaks. Often it's cloud shadow, that's what you're talking of, where the shadow of the cloud on the sea. And what I'm doing, I'm going to do it just in pieces like that. I don't do it any more than that really. That's enough, just to give you an idea. All you're doing, you're creating interest in the sea, so you're covering an area, but you're making it far more interesting. There we go, like that. And I might make it even darker again. I put a little bit of light red with it this time, just for this bottom section here. So as a lead in, so you got that variation up in here, and we're going to leave that for now. Right, the fun part now. We've got the white cliffs on the Isle of Wight, and so I'm working out where the lights are going to come from. I'm going to have the light coming, that's going to be my light source, so it'll mean these quite distinctive pieces that protrude out of the sea will have their light there, and then I'll get another light just catching up there like that. And now I'll work on some blues now. Now that's a bit too dark, and I don't want it as dark as that. And there's a redness as well in the rock formation. So let's get that over here. And you experiment with all these colours. That's the lovely thing with acrylic. It doesn't matter really. You can put a little bit on and you can build on it again, and that's just the great thing with acrylic. And let's get a bit of green up on the headland here. And again, so when this green would dry, I can get all different colours in there. I can some yellows, and but already now you can see the shape this is taking now. I've gone for a little bit of a smaller brush, and I'm going to mix red with the blue. Yeah, I was saying the last post, I'm thinking of starting an art class, Inkerphilly, which will be on a Thursday morning. It'll be end of September, and I'm open to a 5-week session. And then I go on holiday on Cornwall, sketching down there for 2 weeks. So then after that, I could do another 5-week session, God willing, leading up to Christmas. And yeah, and we'll be using acrylic, and it'll be for absolute beginners, people who haven't painted, perhaps can't remember when they painted last. It'll be, but to show how there's nothing to be afraid of, and take it all step by step, and you can produce a reasonable painting, and try to take all the fear out of it. And I sort of be on a Thursday morning, get out of the house and in some good company, and in the winter months, and yeah, so if you're in the Caerphilly area and you want to come along, you're more than welcome. So let's have a look here now. Now I'm going for a real dark now, which you get on the base of this rock here, and on the base here, and up on here. And what we can do now, see, now we've got that, there's a bit of rock in there as well, and one out in there. So just show now what we can do now. Get the white on. Let's see for time how we're doing. And I'm just going to leave it more or less, sorry, I'm going to leave it like this until, and you can see how simply and easily you can do a reasonable painting. It hasn't taken a lot, but I've got everything more or less where I want it. And then we'll get the white that will be through here, just on the horizon there, like that. And yeah, and then what I can do is get some real darks in here now. Let's get some darks in here like that. And there we go. So it's only some fine touching with the rigger, nothing much at all really. And if I get a big brush now and work on this darker blue here. There we go, look, see? So I'm only doing it in streaks, and by working like this, what will happen is you're giving a sense of recession, where you're leading in, and that would be reflecting down in here. So you'd have it a bit darker there, similar here, and if I was to leave it like that, you wouldn't want much better than that actually. But I'll show you then my finished painting, and with the finished I'm going to put a surf, and you'll see the difference. Now here's the finished painting, and all I've done, I've accentuated some colours in here a little bit, and then I've added some surf, and this is how you could easily go over in acrylic, although that was like it was a still sort of calm sea. What I've done, I've introduced a bit of a shoreline with not too much effort really, and I've introduced a few waves breaking here and there, and that's the finished acrylic painting. But now, as you can see from this, that doesn't look garish at all, which a lot of acrylic painters, when I see demos on YouTube and what have you, for absolute beginners, they look so garish, unnatural really. But with the right technique, it's surprising. If I was to varnish this, you really wouldn't be able to tell it apart from an oil painting. So I hope that's been a help.